Good afternoon. A very warm welcome to this, well, I don't know how many times you already did this, but a weekly Facebook live session from CWA. And CWA means, of course,
Conscious World Agents, as well as Claudia with Arturo, some
or
say.
Coffee Wave Ambassadors,
Or
Conscious World Art.
yeah, Conscious World Adventures.
Yeah, wow.
So it's endless, limitless Conscious World
Yeah.
A. So there we are. Good afternoon. My name is Claudia van Zuiden.
And I am, my name,
Nice.
my name is Arturo Mazzaro. And today we're going to talk about happiness. Real happiness.
Right, real happiness.
Not the short-term happiness, but long-term, long-lasting happiness.
Yeah. And what does that mean? Long-lasting happiness.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who would like to start? This person or that person?
Well, let's... Me. That was my glass.
Yeah. Okay, you start then.
Yeah?
Great.
So I start.
Welcome, everybody.
Well, in life, if you ask people, and that's what I do a lot of times, what if you had 5 million euros? What would you do? Well, buy a car, go on vacation, buy a boat, and so on and so on. But every time when I ask the other questions, like, why? And suddenly, everybody comes to the point that, well, I want to feel happy. So it's not the 5 million, it's not the car, it's not the vacation, it's you want to feel happy. But a lot of people are looking then for a short moment of happiness. And why? Because they feel uncomfortable. And what you can do then is eat something, chips or chocolate, or you start to drink more. Some people use drugs, but you can also work harder in your company. Or buy a watch, or having more sex, or all these kind of things. And every time when you do this, not every time, but a lot of times, it is about filling the void that's inside of you, the emptiness that you sometimes feel. And emptiness comes most of the times because you don't feel fulfillment. That's why it's empty. It's not fulfilled. And it's the right English term.
Perfect.
Yes, okay. But filling this void constantly, you need to do it more and more often. And for instance, what I had a long time that I was watching television. In the Netherlands at 7 p.m. there was a special program that I always wanted to see. And it stopped at 7:45, but still I was watching television till 10 p.m. And then I thought, what am I doing here? But it was running away from the feeling I had inside. And that's what I see a lot in the coaching sessions, that a lot of people do this. Trying to fill that empty hole, that emptiness that you feel. How can you change this?
Here it comes.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
Very important.
Well, you will never be happy in the past. I think you can agree on that. You will never be happy in the future because the future is not here. So the happiness can only be in the here and now. It's always here. Yeah. And even if you think back on in earlier occasions that you were, when you were happy there, you were happy at that moment. Not an hour before or an hour after. You were always happy at that moment. So coming back to the here and now, don't have to worry about the past or the future. You can blame the past, and you can, well, have the worries about the future, but it won't help you. And once you feel more in the here and now, you feel also more relaxed, more inner peace. And then happiness comes more or less as a gift from that. And so happiness is not by chance, it's by choice. And the choice is, can you be in the here and now?
Love it.
Then you go from short-term thinking to long-term feeling. And just say these two words to yourself. You go from short-term thinking to long-term feeling. Can you feel the difference if you already pronounce this, if you just say it for yourself? And probably that's at least what I feel, is if I say long-term feeling, I feel relief. And the short-term thinking gives me more tension. So you can have a hard time in life, but you can also choose that it's hard time, and a hard time that's here.
I love
this
that.
one.
That's so lovely.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
And the hard time is always here. It's only in the here and now. Listen to your heart. It will tell you directly, in 2 short words maximum, what you need to do. And the thinking will tell you a lot of stories. And that's why life is so simple. But it's not easy, because we are brainwashed, we're conditioned, we have our subconscious mind, our belief system, and so on. But be here. Please, follow your heart. Be in the here and now. There you can be happy. It's not doing, it's being happy.
Wow, that's such a powerful post I think you wrote this week.
Thank you.
And I love how you also say, when you came up with that, like from heart to heart. Like it's heart, how you change from that. Yeah. And it's like what you say, short-term thinking and long-term feeling. It has that same feeling. It's like this sort of limitations to this total freedom. Yeah. And I think that's really beautiful. I think we should tag that, like TM that or something. No, it's really lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And anyone, if you have any questions or it's so lovely that you're here with us. But if something gets triggered or you want to share something yourself, this is what these sessions are about. With us, is there already some comment?
Yeah, Carmen. Thank you for watching, Carmen, and also Dorothea. But Carmen says, I'm here now.
Yeah, nice.
But she says also, thanks for the reminder, and that's great.
Oh,
well, you're welcome, Carmen.
Thank you. So, that is a wonderful way of looking at long-term happiness, because, everybody wanted to be happy for a while, that started a while ago, I think in the 70s, and it was
the hippies.
The hippies.
The hippies and hippies.
And that's absolutely cool. I mean, I was brought up in Amsterdam myself in the 60s and the 70s, and it was all about being happy, but it was, like you said, in a lot of ways coming from the outside.
That's a great one, yeah.
A lot of external things. People were taking drugs and together, and that's that's whatever. That I don't criticize that at all, but it was also to help them to raise their level of consciousness. Some people took special drugs to do that, and what have you. So that's all good, but it was still looking out with, then we all went to the Tibetan countries, and went to India, and there was it. There we were going to find the gurus, and absolutely, that I'm sure they shared a lot of wisdom and how to actually go within ourselves to find that. Yeah. And even myself, I realized when I was about 15 in a meditation that, wow, there was this great sense of peace, this great sense of happiness. we've got very happy children running around the corridor here where we stay. And really, you know, that helped me also when I realized when I was 15 in meditation that true happiness was here. True happiness was unlimited. You know, it was like this spacious freedom. There was no time, there was no space, and then that helped me so much to realize that I could always go to that place. And that place, in certain traditions, they would say that's where your real self abides. That's where you find your real self. The rest is your physical body, and we can see that. This is the physical body that takes us to do things and enjoys things and loves this or loves chocolate or fruit or lying on the beach somewhere or lying in the grass somewhere, walking through a forest. All these things, a sensory, you know, we pick that up with our physical body. But with our mental body, we have a huge capacity, but we are often not aware of that because we can't see that. You know, we don't see the mental self. So we often ignore that. We look more at the physical self, so it's still in this outward thing. It could also be inside. That's another story. But when we go to the mental part of ourselves, you know, that's where that choice lies. That's where we can make a conscious choice to say, I'm going to stay positive, or I'm going to go in a negative state of mind, or I create positive environments or negative environments. And what does that mean? Not as in opposites that they're good or bad, but we can sense the effect on our physical body. So if we want longer term happiness, I have found in my life that temporary happiness was great, like having some water when I was thirsty, or getting a warm shower when I was really cold, or, you know, these things, or food when I was hungry, and all these beautiful things. But they were temporary, and they gave me a sense of joy and enjoyment. But in the long term, what really gave me happiness was realizing who I really was, not just this physical body, but this being that had mental capacity, physical capacity, emotional capacity, spiritual capacity, the whole of myself, who I really was. And that I needed to love first. That isness, that beingness, I needed to love and honor. And then I started to treat myself differently. I started to eat differently and do all sorts of more yoga, blah, blah, blah. And we can all do that. So that is when we get the awareness of the real self. That's when your life can change, just like that. And then there comes such great joy inside you that you start to actually become a different frequency. If everything is in nature is frequency, the whole cosmos changes all the time. There's nothing stays the same. Everything is vibrating continuously. So am I. So on what level of vibration do I want to live? And it's shown that they can measure certain vibration. They can measure the vibration of love. They can measure the vibration of kindness, of gratitude, all these things now. Science is showing us that. So when we choose to think positively, our frequency changes nearer to the frequency of love. So, and I have the mental capacity to do that at every moment in the now. And when I started to realize that, I started to realize what a great being I am. And what you want to do next is you want to share that. You want, like we're doing now, we're going to say, well, you have the capacity to do that. Yeah. And of course, if there are things that need looking into and with all that, that's absolutely possible. Yes. You know, we all have our own traumas, we all have our own things, and please do that. But when you start to understand and use your capacity to create positive choices, things will start to change in your life. And another thing with that is what I found, you can manipulate that. You can manipulate that to the benefit of this physical self, of your short-term happiness. But ultimately, when you are vibrating on that frequency of love and making choices on that from that frequency of love, you will not want to do that. You will not want to go on to only the self, the protection of the self, so I can be happy and I feel good. You actually want to share that with others, and you will not want to abide in the lower frequencies anymore. And that, I think, helps us to really experience long-lasting happiness when you selflessly want to share that love with others, with animals, with plants. Yeah. You don't want to react on when somebody triggers you anymore and says, well, you've done this wrong and you've done that wrong. You go like, it's okay. You know, I don't want to go to that frequency anymore. You might and some people might actually leave out of your life because of that, because it's not helpful anymore for both of you. So, and then what it also can do, it can actually bring you closer.
Yeah.
If the other person also chooses to connect from that frequency, and it's really honest and authentic and coming from that real self, then miracles can happen too. So for me I always like to put an experiment in my posts as well, and I put this week in that every time when you feel that your frequency lowers a bit, you're going to that spiral of maybe negative thinking, or you're in a situation that you know you can change. If you can't change it, then just try to stay calm as much as you can. But if you can change it, then make a positive and aware choice, a conscious choice of what you can do differently to lift your energy up a little bit higher towards that low frequency. And if you start doing that, like you were saying, subconsciously, you will start to create a different habit. You'll recognize it every time when it happens, and then you know, I have a choice here. And you can't then put the blame on someone else or situations. What happens? You have the responsibility, and you have the quality to change that. So, yeah, and when you keep repeating that, then, there is a high chance that you will, every action, every thought, even the thoughts will change. They cannot even enter your mind anymore. But that is a long process, and we all still get triggered.
Yeah.
But we have the tools, and the only thing is we have to practice them. So, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. I loved how you started this. We try to fill that emptiness with external things. And long-lasting happiness is not there.
No,
it's here.
It's here, yeah. And it starts with, I feel, first loving this whole being, this miraculous being.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And you can see it in people who, for example, have very bad accidents or lost all their limbs or whatever, and how they still have this positive energy, and how inspired do we get when we see these people. They know it's not just this physical body, and it's not in your physical body or in the car that we buy that is in 10 years starting to rust, and in 100 years probably not even there anymore, because it's changing, it's decaying in every moment. So it's not really that what is giving us happiness. The happiness is really here in the freedom. And people say, yeah, but how can I maintain that? And that is just by practice.
It is, and also what you said, every time when you feel the lower energy coming in and feeling the sadness and so on, and if you can change it, every time when you do this, you will raise your level of consciousness. Step by step by step. And I totally agree, at a certain moment you are at some kind of level that's some kind of safety net. You won't drop
that's right.
any more down. And last week I heard something from the doctor, from the, how do you say that? The
GP, general practitioner.
Something about my health, and that was really not nice at that moment. But the day after, I saw it as a blessing to change something. And what we don't say to you all, if you do this, you won't see any issues anymore in your life, because that's not true. You will all have issues at a certain moment.
We all will,
Yeah, we all will.
Absolutely. And it's happening all around us all the time. We get sad, and I get sad about things. I mean, when I see all the things that are happening to people, I really feel sad about that. So,
But then we know that we have a choice.
Yeah.
Are we going to dive in and make it deeper and more frustration and so on and so on? Or can we see, okay, what's the lesson here? What's the lesson? And raise my own level again. And if I raise my own level of consciousness every time, again and again and again, then, for instance, the healing process is much easier for your whole body. The healing process at an emotional level will be much easier. The healing process at a mental level, the connection with the spirituality, with the universal mind, will be much easier. So the alignment is much stronger then. And when the alignment is much stronger, you're more in balance, and it's more difficult to get you out of balance through things from the outside world.
Yeah, and it's also, you know, if you're sad, be sad.
Yeah.
You know, there's also that part. It's not that we need to ignore or all these things. I feel that. I mean, like we've said many times, don't believe everything. Just we share what we've experienced to be helpful.
Yeah.
So what I found is if I'm sad and I'm really sad, yeah, then sometimes I need to cry, and that's absolutely fine. But I don't need to stay in it, because that's an emotion, and it's like anger. Maybe you can recall a time in your life when you were really angry about something. You're probably not that same level of anger you don't have at this particular moment, because the emotion has subdued somehow, has subsided somehow, it's subdued. So it's the same with all the other emotions. They can come, but they can come up, but then when you realize they're coming up, you can allow yourself, if that's an appropriate time also, you can, okay, this can come now, and this is okay, I'm in a safe environment, or I'm supported here, it can come. And later, do I choose to dwell in this, or am I going to take steps towards this, or can I change it? If I can't change it, just leave it. And if you can't change it, what can you do to change it? And sometimes maybe you don't need to do anything to change it. It just is. Yeah. And that's okay too. But it's about the awareness. The awareness, if you start to really, I find, to understand what we really are, this self, is much more than just this physical and temporary happiness, which is great to experience too at times. So.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you know, last week then when I had that message, you remember probably that in the evening I was really a little bit down, you know, and I started to cry a little bit, and I was thinking, well, I'm 60 years old. Come on, this body is letting me down now. That kind of feeling. And then I think it's also to acknowledge the moment where you are at that moment. Acknowledge that the body is giving this signal. And don't push it away. For instance, for me, don't push it away. No, that's not true. No, it is there. Okay, what can I do different? What's the lesson? What can I learn from this? And then, after that, the next morning, I saw it as a blessing. Again, just acknowledge where you are right now. If your life is in a shitty moment, then it's in a shitty moment. Acknowledge it. You don't have to accept everything that's around you, but at least acknowledge it is what it is. And from that on, you can say, okay, step by step, what at least can I do right now? What at least can I do with the choice I make of being a little bit more happy, or change something? And that's it, step by step. Just like how you learned how to ride a bike, the car, to ride, everything, step by step. Slow down and take action.
Slow down to light up.
Slow down to light up, that's it.
Wow. Yeah, that was a good example. And of course, like you say, we all go through these things. So and it's wonderful to be vulnerable and to share that as well. And we learn those big lessons that we often have had in our lives are through those big challenges that we had to face and to perhaps overcome.
Wow. Carmen is writing something.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing this, Carmen, by the way. What Carmen is saying is, yes, it is a blessing. After breast cancer and lots of shit in and around me, so thankful for it all. And absolutely, I allow myself to be. And so thankful for every energy. Love you, thanks.
No, thank you, Carmen. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, when you can see it like that, that is a huge, that is a blessing in itself. So thank you for sharing that.
And also that means that you're aware of things, and that you're raising your level of consciousness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, thank you. Now, next week we have a topic about why is it so important to walk the talk and to raise your level of consciousness. And we can talk about this for hours, but what really helps us, and we invite you to share with us your views on that. So feel free to write us a message or to write it on the here already, and we can talk about it next week. Let's explore this together like we're doing now. It's really great, Carmen, how you're interacting with us. And let's have that dialogue around things about why is it so important that we all become more aware of our own capacity, of the beautiful beings that we are and unique beings. So that's what it's about next week. And then we also, we've started our promos a bit for our 4-leaf clover program that we're starting here in Bussum in September, which is a year program. We meet 4 weekends and we here live, and then we meet every month in between those. We meet on a Zoom call with the participants, and that's like a whole journey where we share so many things of what has helped us and have come on our path in our lives that are so beneficial from many, many different cultures also, from Western science, from neuroscience to Eastern philosophies and so forth. It's a huge combined package that we're sharing with you. And that's starting now, so if you, it's filling up, so if you want to be there, just let us know, because we only have like a smallest group, so we can make it really individual. And next year we will
double the price.
Double the price. We just wanted this year to give a lot of people an opportunity, because it's a really good price for a really amazing program. And we are getting, our diary is filling up, so with lots of beautiful things, as well as yours diary, I'm sure. Yeah. So that's, and then we have to...
And then go to our website, of course, consciousworldagents.com, and go to the 4-leaf clover program. Okay. So not the 4-lead, because that's for leaders, but the 4-leaf clover program.
Yeah, the 4-leaf clover is more if you either are, a company holder or a CEO, and then we look more at the team, how they, as a leader in their team or in their work, could be improving their leadership skills through self-knowledge and authentic leadership and so forth. So that's also an amazing program that we now nearly finished, as in writing the whole content. We are so excited about that as well. So if you know someone who could benefit from that, please share, and we would really love to hear your stories. This is not about us. We're all conscious world agents. What we want to do is just spread little tools out that can help people to raise the level of consciousness. So if you find certain things help you, let us know, and we can also let other people know. So that's basically what I feel we could share this week. I don't know if you something else. It's just absolutely wonderful that you're here. First of all, thank you for that. And also if you do join us for an experience day sometimes in the future, we also have one in September. Yeah,
September the 4th, I think. Yeah. Saturday. Yeah.
Is that an online or is it here?
No, that's here. That's a live one here in Bussum.
And if you want, afterwards we also have like a small group of Conscious World ambassadors, and we meet as well, so to deepen our journey. And we find that really helpful, that we can support each other and enjoy happy moments with each other, as in really sharing from the heart what's been helpful to develop and come closer and unlearn things, just unpack things that are no longer serving us.
Yes, I think that's it.
That's it. Wishing you a wonderful weekend. We're going to have a good weekend too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll look forward to seeing you next week if you can, and wish you a very, very happy life.
Yes, and every day do at least 2 things that make you happy.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.